What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Max Rock here with a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing a full review for the Blue Vivo 1 Plus. Software, performance, camera, battery, and network connectivity. The build of the phone is it's constructed of metal. As you can see, it is a unibody design of metal. It's not a very premium feeling metal, but nonetheless it is metal. And the device does feel pretty good in the hand. It is extremely lightweight for the size. You see that it has a very large screen here, a 6-inch screen, and the front of the phone is actually pretty huge. It's kind of awkward to have a phone with an 18:9 aspect ratio, but the bezels are still pretty big. So on the back of the phone, we got a 13 megapixel camera with a dual tone LED flash. You also have a fingerprint scanner in the back, and you get your blue logo. Now on the bottom of the phone, you see that you get a speaker. It's a speaker grill there, as you can see. And you get a microphone as well. On the top, you get your micro USB charging port and your headphone jack. You get your power buttons and your volume up and down keys. The thing about that is that the power button isn't rigid. The volume up and down keys feel exactly the same as the power button. SIM tray slot where you can put your nano SIM in, 2 SIM cards, or your micro SD card and your nano SIM. It could take up to about 120 gigabytes with the SD card. Could be more, but the phone does have adaptable storage, so you can make the SD card internal. The front of the phone here, you got a 13 megapixel camera as well with an LED flash. The screen itself is 6 inches to 720 by 1440 pixels, and I believe it has about 260 pixels per inch. You get 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage. The CPU is a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor from MediaTek. As you can see there, so it's the 6739, and the battery is 4,000 milliamps. The software. Now, the software in this device is currently running Android 7.1.1 with the security patch of July. It's not on Android Oreo, which is not a big deal to me, but I wish it could get it. But being that it's a blue phone, the odds of it getting 8.0 is probably not a good chance. It does come with a stock UI or stock home launcher, but I'm not really going to show you guys that. It's a typical one that you get with 7.1.1 with the app drawer and everything, but I'm currently running a Pixel launcher on the device. Obviously, the phone itself is a 6-inch screen that has the 18:9 aspect ratio. One of the things about it is that with some apps, when you have the phone off for a standard amount of time, they aren't set to take up the entire screen. What you got to do is go to the full screen mode and select them to take up the entire screen. With the performance here, combination with the software, it's pretty laggy. It's a laggy phone here. And one of the things that I just noticed about it about a week and a half ago, after I did my first impressions video, is when you go to the battery here, the phone has what you call a sports mode and a normal mode. The difference between sports mode and normal mode is that, let's say you got like a scale of 1 to 5, being super laggy at 5. On normal mode, the phone is at a 4, but in sports mode, it's at like a 3.6. You know, so it's still pretty laggy. It's not that much faster in sports mode, but nonetheless it is faster. So I'm going to keep it on that setting. Now cameras on this device here are not good at all. The rear camera is better than the front-facing camera, which is usually the case when it comes to a smartphone. But when I say both these cameras are not good at all, I mean I did a camera test video on the channel, so you can actually go ahead and give it a check yourself. The front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera do shoot in 1080p video. The camera itself isn't good, so I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who's looking to get a phone with a decent camera, because this is not the phone that's going to please you. When it comes to battery life, the phone itself does have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, so I do apologize there. I don't have any screen on time screenshots as far as what the phone can actually perform, but I can say that I got about 67 hours of screen on time with this device, and you can easily get a little bit more out of that depending on what type of user you are. So I'll say if you're a moderate user, you'll probably be able to get through a day easily with this device. It doesn't have quick charge or anything like that, being that it has a huge battery. It taking about 3 hours to fully charge can kind of be like a downside to some users or some buyers. But I'll say once it is fully charged, you can expect it to last a good amount of time, depending on how you use it. The screen does get really, really bright, and we can talk about the display quality here. It does get really bright, and it does have a picture quality mode where you can change it to vivid or standard. Now here's the thing, it being 720p, it's actually a pretty good looking screen. That's probably one of the best things about the phone here. The screen does look good. When it's on full brightness, the colors are nice and vibrant. You'll be able to see it outside no problem, which is a positive here. But as far as battery life, you can get 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, and you can easily get through the day if you're at work or something like that. So battery is not a problem. But network connectivity, which is the last topic I want to discuss here. With network connectivity, I was able to put my Cricket SIM card on the device and not have a problem with it. Making phone calls, no problem. Sending text messages, no problem. Using the data network was no problem. And I'm pretty sure the device can work on AT&T, which is Cricket, T-Mobile, and Metro, no issues as well. Now, when it comes to Sprint and Verizon, I'll say that's when you're probably going to run into a little bit of trouble. So stay away from that there. But being that the device is on 7.1.1, hopefully it could upgrade to Android Nougat, Android Oreo in the future. But we keep our fingers crossed for that. So if you want to get this phone here, just because of the way it looks and how big it is, and it having a nice big screen, it has futuristic designs about the phone here with the 18:9 aspect ratio. It's a pretty decent phone, but don't get the phone thinking that it's gonna do things that you're probably used to or accustomed to when it comes to budget phones. And I'll say that because the cameras aren't really good at all. Front and back cameras aren't good. It's usually either the rear camera is good, but I mean, like, even in daylight the camera isn't good, which is kind of disappointing. But overall, the phone, it's the best looking laggy phone I ever had. So that's why I decided to keep it. It has a little bit of character when it comes to that. It's an 18:9 screen here that's laggy with a quad-core processor with 13 megapixels on the front and back. And those are specs that you probably wouldn't expect it to have, and it not being able to perform as well. And it having a metal body design. So overall, is it worth the buy? For me, yes, but for you, probably not. So I'll say be careful with buying this phone here, because it having super laggy problems, bad cameras, and slow charging times is probably going to deter you from getting the phone. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And if you do decide to subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so that anytime a video is posted in the future, you'll be notified of it immediately. But until then, my name is Maxi Rock. Thank you, of course, for watching this video, and you have a good day. Deuces.